Hello everyone, Airboat Productions here with a review of the LEGO Monster Fighter set 9461, the Swamp Creature. This set was released back in 2012. It came with 70 pieces, the 2 minifigures you see before you, and the 2 builds you see before you. All that for a grand total of $7, so it was a pretty cheap set. If you want to get it new, it'll cost you around $18 today, and if you want to get it used, it'll cost you around $9, mainly because of that Swamp Creature figure. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the minifigures. Taking a look at our good guy Monster Fighter here. I'm not too sure if he has a specific name. I just never really learned them as a kid, so I'm just going to call him just a Monster Fighter. I just really that kind of specified as him kind of just having those sunglasses. So that's really what I really called him. So looking at the specifics of the minifigure, you can see that he has some nice kind of olive green pants with some kind of interesting kind of like weapon looking chains and shoulder pads, or knee pads actually. And you can see a nice little belt here, kind of reminiscent of some of the earlier kind of dino themes from that same year, which I have some of. And then you can see that he has this nice little leather jacket, which is very tattered, as well as kind of like this gray shirt underneath, which has all these kind of stains on it. And then you can see some of his muscles under there. And it all has some nice little puffy fur around it, and it is sleeveless. And then you can see the puff kind of going around the back. And you can see that he's actually dual wielding some of these Western style pistols, which I really enjoyed as a kid, and I still do enjoy. And you can see his face has some sunglasses as well as a smirk and kind of like these little hashes, the red hashes, which is very also reminiscent of the dino theme from the same year, as well as this kind of like curled up look to his black hair. And if we actually pop his hair off, these guys are a little bit more finicky because they're older. You can actually see that he has kind of like a more stern expression with some like stubble on his face. And it just, to me, looks kind of weird without his glasses on, because the glasses kind of make him. So that's pretty much it for our Monster Fighter. Taking a look at the Swamp Creature here, he has a green torso as well as some legs and some nice lime like hip pieces, as well as some lime hands. Then you can see his kind of like ribs and chest here with some algae printing on, kind of like to cover him up there, as well as some scales going all throughout his body. And then if we flip him on to the back, you can see some more scales and kind of like amphibian looking detailing, as well as some more algae right there. No printing on the arms. And then you can see this kind of dark brown spear here, which he can use to spearfish or to attack our Monster Fighter. Then you can see he has this nice gill printed kind of like flipper, I'm not too sure what to call him, kind of like this whole like sea creature look up on this kind of headpiece here. I'll show you that in a little bit more detail. It just has some little eye holes as well as some of those fins. And then under there you can see his head is actually lime green, no double-sided face printing, just on that front face. And you can actually see his mouth starting to peer open, as well as some red and yellow eyes with those reptilian slits. So overall, a very awesome figure that I love. Taking a look at our kind of swamp build here, you can see our little swamp creature. It's like his little hideout. You can see this frog mold here, which is the kind of darker green frog, as well as this silver fish and some sand green kind of clipping, as well as some dark green trans dark green pieces. And then you can see this nice little seaweed piece in the back here to kind of just add that little bit of detail, as well as the lime green moonstone, which is actually one of the 6, or actually there's 7, but one of the 6 major moonstones, which comes later in the Monster Fighter's castle as well. You can see that it has some seaweed detailing, and if you want to, you can actually take your monster or sea creature here and pop that right on into his hand, and then you can have him kind of standing right here protecting it. So I find that really interesting. And then if we move him over to the side, you can actually see the Monster Fighter's airboat. And what you can do is you can take your guy, put him in his brown chair, kind of position the levers, and you can take his guns out, or you can actually put them in these clips up in the front here, very easily. You can kind of just slide them in or push them in. So that works out very nicely. And then you can see some grills up in the front here, which kind of add these little fins, as well as some trans blue kind of inverted tiles, which help it slide across the table or any surface you're gliding across, including water, not actual water, but like if you're just pretending. And then on the back, there's a little propeller here, which can spin just like so, as if it's in the water, because this is an airboat. And then you can see this majorly tan body to the whole airboat, as well as a little seat, which can be easily removed if you want it to. And then you can see the white levers, which he's holding on to, and there's actually some little lights right here, as well as some kind of maroon tipped flick fire missiles, which work as all other flick fire missiles. You put your minifig down. I'll take a staff outside, he can't have any extra protection, and then you launch it at him. These are a bit frail or older, so let's see if I can get him. They're not wanting to come out. Okay, there went one. Let's see if we can get him. Awesome. Alright, so you can see that they kind of stick in there as it gets older, so just be careful about that. So that's pretty much the set for you. So overall, for the Monster Fighter like kind of starter set, I do think this is an excellent one. It has a Moonstone, which is pretty much exclusive to the set, other than the other huge $100 Monster Fighter castle. So it was nice to get one of the Moonstones in just a cheap $7 set. Then you have an awesome monster figure, as well as another kind of Monster Fighter figure, just for $7. So the value you can see is clearly there. This was a very, very well thought out theme, so stay tuned to see other Monster Fighter sets coming out in the future, all throughout October, or Spooktober, as people like to call it. And so basically, we're going to have all these sets leading up to Halloween Day, and on Halloween Day, we are actually going to review the Monster Fighter Castle, and kind of have like a big hoorah for the end of Halloween, as well as celebrating Halloween. So I hope you guys like that schedule that I have planned out. Let me know in the comment section down below if you do like that, to see if I could do other times, like Christmas or something like that. So that's really going to do it for me today. If you guys did go on to like the video, please like and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated, so that you can make sure you don't miss out on those other Monster Fighter reviews. Check out some of my earlier reviews from this week, including some of my kind of finds from that convention or the toy show, as well as some other hauls. So that's pretty much it for me. Indie Brick Productions is out, and may the brick be with you.